In this next clip, you will see another example of how CSIS floods the area with surveillance role players as I attempt to travel the short distance from the transit terminal to my workplace in Ottawa. Regardless of which direction I take as I exit the station, CSIS ensures that their mob of community-based agents are always ready and waiting to swarm around the area. They are trained specifically to attempt to make their swarming just seem like a natural event. But when one goes to an area that would ordinarily be completely quiet after 10 p.m. at night, and a flood of people abruptly appear out of nowhere and begin walking back and forth in both directions on a side road, it can be clearly established that this is not only unnatural, but bizarre. This theatrical performance is enacted purposefully so that the subject of the CSIS harassment and stalking campaign will know that they are always under 24/7 surveillance wherever they go. It is important to note that before exiting the station, I am going to make a point of showing the viewer that there was no one at all walking in either direction along the road across from the pathway that I am going to take after exiting. This is an important reference point since the viewer will also become aware of how many people immediately appear on the street in front of me, walking back and forth in both directions with precise timing, just as I emerge from the trail and come up toward the road. It is also important to note that after exiting the train at the transit terminal, I look down from the window just to show the viewer that if I would have crossed the street and taken the other shorter route to my workplace, CSIS had a surveillance role player sitting in a vehicle and waiting. This person likely would have pulled out in the vehicle just as I arrived if I had taken that route, as their sole purpose for being there was to take part in the illegal and illegitimate surveillance, aka harassment, of a law-abiding citizen as he simply attempts to travel to his workplace. While regularly documenting these activities might at times seem like a tedious and monotonous endeavor, I feel that it is important to do, since it gives people who are unaware that these activities are going on some semblance of understanding and insight into the working methods of the criminal Canadian communitarian surveillance state, a system which masquerades as quote-unquote democracy, but is really nothing less than a flimsily disguised totalitarian state.
So the car that was there last night looks like, I'm not saying that's the same one, but there's one positioned in the same location. And as you can see, there's one backing up. A minivan, SUV, backing up there at the end of the street now, it looks like. So I guess he's going to turn and face the other direction instead of facing down towards here. And that pulled up just as I got off, because there's surveillance obviously everywhere here. And he'll just sit there as well. He'll just sit there. So the other one further up that one's further up on the right because I'm going to go around that way. If I travel down there, across that way, the one on the right side further up is there because I have to go around. So they've got, as you can see, they've got vehicles positioned both at the back area where I would come up to the sidewalk, and then on the right further up where I would go across to the street. And both vehicles, just people sitting in them with the lights on, not moving. So just take a glance for a minute here. And then there's basically the swarm that they'll have going down the other way. If I go that way, we'll emerge from here, most likely, and travel down that pathway there across the street, and then go up that way, so that they surround the area either way, whichever way I go. So you can take a look at this and see that nobody's getting out of those vehicles. They're just parked there just to sit there with the lights on, not moving. That one there, and then the other one up ahead on the right. And these are CSIS people who are told to park there, right along the route where I would take to go to work there. Because they keep you under 24/7 surveillance wherever you go. So you can see people walking slowly down there as well. Let's see if either of them gets into one of the vehicles. Another person wearing the red jacket there. As you can see, those two guys right when I got off wearing the red jackets. Both wearing in unison the all red jackets. Okay, so somebody looks like they're going to get into this vehicle, and the one that's further up the street there was one positioned in a similar area night before last. Not last night, because last night I came. Oh yeah, and as I came last night, I gotta save that footage. I have it still. There's a guy who came right out who was sent to walk through the gates as I came. So. Yeah, see that guy's wearing a red jacket also. So it's all red too. That's the three of them here. Special constables here coming in here. Special constables there, and then the right side. Yeah, that car's still sitting there. This one hasn't pulled out yet, but it looks like that person got into the vehicle there. And the special constables are gonna just go around here and park and sit there. I'll just show you here. And they'll just sit there like the Ottawa police did last night, just doing nothing for hours on end. And then they'll maybe drive to another transit terminal and sit and do nothing for hours on end. You could have contract security guards doing a much better job and pay them minimum wage, right? So, but you got to pay these people. Yeah, I see they're driving up onto the sidewalk just to sit there and do nothing. And they intentionally. Here's another guy wearing red there down there, as you can see. They intentionally go as far as possible, so they're out of. You can't really see what they're doing in the car, so there's no transparency there either, so they can just sit there and rip off the public and do nothing at the far corner. As you can see, also, there's hardly anyone in the terminal, so there's no reason for them to even be here. There's no incidents going on. They have to actually concoct fake incidents just to make it look like these people are doing work. So they set up a bunch of, fairly regularly set up a bunch of skits to make it look like they're removing paid community-based agents posing as vagrants. And that's also part of the whole breakdown of the society that they want to deceitfully manufacture so that they can justify bringing in more constables, more police to do nothing but oppress the public and lie to the public and well, not all of the public, because they have enough of the public who lie along with them as well. I shouldn't say all of the public, but so over here, you see, they've driven over there just to sit there and park there and do nothing there. And that's about what they do. And if you walk further down there, right, there's bus stops all down there, but at this time of night, I don't think the buses run. So if you walk down there and just stand there at one of the bus stops, someone will come over there and say, hey, why are you standing here? Because they don't want you to see what they're doing, right? They're hiding over there so they can just sit there and watch movies on their phones and do nothing and get paid $150K a year to do nothing. So that's them there. And then they didn't show up right when I got off the train, but pretty close. And then across here we still have that car on the right, okay? So that's been there since I got here. No movement. Okay, so we're going to go down now. We'll see if the constables follow if I go along the path. Oh, so I want to make note of something here. Just take a look up there, the pathway. No people walking up there now, right? I want you to notice that now. Because when I go down there, that's going to change. That's going to change, okay? So most times when I take that pathway, they send a bunch of people right when I come out to flood back and forth along the area. So there's no one at all walking up there. There'd be no reason to, because buses run up and down there all the time. Okay? So just to note that. Now watch when I go down and walk out there. See, that car's still there too. Okay, so and don't see too much of that. So this is us. So they're over in the corner there. And but not many people here, as you can see, right? No one walking down that way. But watch when I go out, if I go down the pathway. Because they got that car just waiting there for me to go by there. Not that it matters, really, but because what it'll do is just sit there and probably drive off right when I get there. It's just part of the fake surveillance to let the person know that they're under surveillance, but to not make it stand out too much to anyone else around. So that's why I capture these things on video. And okay, on the left here, a lot of times they have a person lingering with a phone. On a night like tonight, there'd be no reason to be lingering back there, but there probably will be still. Okay. And the car, yeah, what is it? And then the car on the right. So right away there's a CSIS orc walking towards me there when I turn. And looks like another car just pulled up there on the right as well. Okay, so we'll go down here. This is just an actor. Okay, so he's been told to wait out there. Oh yeah, see there is, I'll just show you from here. There's the usual act where they have people standing there to stare out at the darkened pathway behind, so that if I go that way, they're positioned there. The constables are over in the corner, and you'll see these people have just been told to stand here. And it's all about letting me know that I'm under surveillance. If I go that way, they got people there. If I go across, there's a car parked over there waiting right in the area where I would come up to the street. I'll show you from here. It should still be there. Yeah, it is, see? On the right side. I'll just show you from here. And then there's another person coming along there. Not many people here though. Look, see over there? Hardly anyone. There's the constable sitting there doing nothing. And that car is just waiting there for me to come up there. That's a CSIS person as well. And then they've told the two people here just to stand here monitoring the pathway. This is one of their people here too on the right, left there. So looks like the one, yeah, so the one's just standing there. CSIS person here, and then this guy also is walking back and forth, yeah. Probably one of their drug addicts. Constable still sitting there doing nothing, possibly waiting for me to go whichever direction I'm going so he can drive. They can pull out and drive alongside me. See, they're just sitting there. Nobody's smoking crack here tonight because they're there. They're here now. Look at picking through the garbage bins here. Two actors here. Okay, they've been given instructions. They can walk on now. Which way are they going to go, left or right? And let's put our mask on and keep everyone safe. Okay, they're going that way. The act is over. Now, okay, so let's just take a quick look here. Okay, no one on this side, as you can see. So they'll have people coming both directions as I come out. Maybe not right at once, but they will have people flooding down the street. So I'm going to go this way. And you'll notice immediately. Let's go up here. Just want to take one more look. So, okay, so that here. Okay, I'm gonna go up that way now. And got all the people wearing their red jackets tonight. Okay. And then along this pathway, sometimes you can see it's all dark down there, right? Once you move down there, 10 p.m. now. But a lot of times they'll have people just going out for a walk in darkness here. Those would be CSIS surveillance role players who they use to mob as well. Mob people. And yeah, very few people. Not many people at the station there tonight. And yeah, so all that stuff with these things that are, like with people smoking crack in transit terminals and stuff like that, this is all being manufactured to justify bringing in more enforcement. They have to manufacture it because these things wouldn't really be happening if these people were actually doing their jobs. Yet, ironically, they need to have that so they can justify bringing in more of them to oppress people and do nothing and stalk the citizens who have spoken the truth, while facilitating crime and working alongside hardened criminals to do so. So that's all part of the Order Out of Chaos agenda, and you can expect things to get much worse as we move into 2026, I would think. So let's remember, take note, okay? I showed you there's nobody walking up that street there when I came up. Watch me come out here. Usually there's at least one or two right away as soon as I come up here who will be positioned there. CSIS, I think they have some people who drop them off and just give them, and then they go to a meeting point after. It's just about flooding the area with people, even in places that would be completely quiet, like here, after 10 p.m. The police weren't there tonight. I kind of thought they might be, but like last night, we know for certain that it wasn't an actual. They weren't there to block off the road because they were letting cars through, and they weren't stopping them and checking them for anything. It wasn't a checkpoint or anything like that. It was just having them parked there to sit there, probably to draw me over too, which it did. But I stayed at a distance because I know their games, and when I stayed at a distance, they had the whole swarm all around me. So I like to get footage of that too, because that whole area is just. It defines the surveillance state, that area there. Yeah, right away. What did I say, right? Okay. Right on. That was bang on cue, and he's going the other way, right? So, and these are CSIS people, and you'll notice the knapsack. They almost all have the knapsack that CSIS tells them to wear, and I think they use a lot of University of Ottawa students, but they either give them or tell them to buy knapsacks, and that's part of the sensitization. So they're all wearing the knapsack, so I'll know it. They're all, there's too many of them wearing it for it to be just random or coincidental. So that was right away, and then here, okay, and that's red jacket number 20 since I've gotten off the train, and all going that way. So notice I showed you the street where there was nobody coming up or down the street as I was coming out. Then the moment I come up the pathway, they have them waiting here, positioned to walk up and down the street. So, okay, so now that way. Now remember, we looked that way when I came up, so there's another red jacket there too. Red jacket number 21. So that's 4 people right there since I came from here seconds ago. And you saw when I exited and looked up the street, there's nobody there coming up the street. So obviously we got the CSIS swarm just doing the walk around as I try to go to work tonight. And one prerequisite for getting a job with CSIS is that you don't have the capacity to think critically. They just want people who will say, okay, sure, I'll go on and walk back and forth all around to surround an area to do fake surveillance. And obviously too, that you wouldn't trust any of these people at all to do any type of legitimate surveillance. So that's 4 people the moment I came up the pathway, okay, right away. And there's going to be more probably as I walk down. And you see the area here too. There'd be nobody who would be walking here at 10 at night because there's buses that run all up and down that street, both ways. So if they're here's another one here. So if they were at the transit terminal already, you could take the bus for free. No one would go out to walk all the way up. But I think they have a meeting point up beyond the lights there, because I saw the one. Oh, here's another one, and as you can see, wearing a knapsack as well. So that's was it 5? Since I came up here, knapsack, and you'll probably see the constables drive by. They were positioned there, sitting, doing nothing. They're also part of coordinating many of these things with the surveillance role players. So next surveillance role player here, and he's wearing the knapsack as well as the other guy was I showed you. Those 2 there weren't. Those look to be a little bit older people, and so you saw last night when I went down that other way. At first there weren't many people. Then I was literally swarmed as I went past where the police were. Here's another one on this side. As you can see, both sides. CSIS has them coming out. I'll just show you. I'm going to turn here, because this one might be sent to follow down the pathway. I'm going to just turn. So this is number 6 here, coming on my left here. Okay, no. So see right away this starts. And anyone can see this. This is completely unnatural. Both sides, as you can see. He's wearing the knapsack too, the guy on the other side with the wool hat. This guy's not wearing a knapsack here. Just staring at a phone, walking on the road. So that's, sorry, we were at 5, so that's 7 since I came up from the pathway. And as you can see, none of these people would be competent enough to be able to do legit surveillance, because those people are just young, look to be students. And all the task is just to walk back and forth around the area just so I see them. Okay, so 7 since I've come up from the pathway there. And okay, here's 8 here. Next. No. That's why it's important. I wanted to show you as I looked down that pathway before leaving, just to show you that there was nobody. And I can tell you for certain, if you had a camera here for the past hour, there's been probably nobody who's walked up and down here. So this is number 8 here coming. Is he wearing a knapsack? I'm just going to turn and see from this side here. So the 2 that just went there. And this is Daniel Rogers and Michael DeHume sending these people to swarm around the area as I attempt to go to work. Last night they also had people mob me as I just walked over to get footage of the police who had been sent to stage a fake blocking of the roads. And these people would also work alongside the police to cover up drug trafficking, to lie, to bear false witness. They knapsack as well, right? See the knapsack there? So they all have that accessory. Not all of them, but most of the ones they're using. And that's part of the sensitization as well. And it's just an act. So we got a flood of, what was that, 7, 8? That's the 8th one there, I think. If I've lost count. But I think it's the 8th. Okay? So a considerable amount of people. I think there's a meeting point. Here's the constables now. One there. And another one here, coming down here. And that one of them was the one that was just sitting there doing nothing, I'm sure. So there's the constables right on cue as well. And then the 8th surveillance role player who's been sent to swarm around the area as I try to go to work. And the ones heading this way, they probably just gave them transit fare just to get on the train. And then the ones that are going more, okay. Up here as well. What's the time now? Oh, I switched it off, okay. It was about 10 when I left, so. So you see he's got the knapsack on as well. Most of them do. And let's see here. But last night, no, it's different if you're in that area where I was last night. You know, when you see people around there, you know, it's not quite as, it was still an abnormal amount of people, but here you wouldn't see it. You just wouldn't see it. So that's why I like to get this footage, and I'll just show you. CSIS sends them every night as I try to go to work. And these are not people in any way who are competent enough to do any type of real surveillance. So it's just about putting bodies in the area to swarm around you, basically. Hoping that you'll react to it or say something to them. And again, I just get the footage and provide commentary at a distance. So, 10:09 p.m., okay. And, so here's here. And then, yeah, the knapsack I think they give them the knapsacks and just tell them to put it on. And that's part of the sensitization as well. So you can see that so many of them are wearing knapsacks. But one thing they don't have is any capacity to really think. They'll just, anything you ask them to do, they'll pretty much do it. If the state and CSIS asks them to all gather at the edge of a cliff, 10,000 feet up, and jump off the cliff, promising them that if they do so, they'll all get free iPhones, they'll willingly comply, all of them, without question. Unfortunately, they won't get the iPhones, though, because, you know, I think you can, I mean, for obvious reasons. But that's the mentality. It's a little bit exaggerated, but that's the mentality, just to convey the point of how these people think. Here's number 9 here. And that's the 9th one. So when they do this one here, I think they use a lot of University of Ottawa students just to swarm around as I come up here. And I usually, whenever they do it, usually I'll just capture a bit of footage of it. And sometimes put it in the video, sometimes just keep it from my, and then a lot of times they'll have people coming back here too. You can see that's all dark, right? Who's going to be walking back there after 10 p.m. at night when it's all dark? But they'll send people back there often as well, because they know I sometimes stop here to get the footage, so it's just to make you feel uncomfortable. And that's the whole thing, is just to make you feel uncomfortable, let you know that there's surveillance going on, even if the people doing it are not fit to be doing any type of surveillance and lack the mental capacity to be doing any type of legitimate surveillance. That's not important to them. What's important is just putting people there to try to provoke reactions. And then having the police come in when you do react in any way, or having constables come in and accusing you and gaslighting and things of that nature. So do we have a little bit of a lull in the deluge now? It looks like we do. But yeah, so no, just when I said that. Yeah, we have buses. So the buses from the station obviously go up there, right? Both directions. Here's one coming now, right? So at 10 p.m. at night, why would that many people be walking back and forth here? Because they're sent to do it. That's why. And so I like to capture this footage. Here's another one here. Another CSIS orc coming here. Referring to them as orcs, like, you know, those goblins in the Lord of the Rings that are just sent out by, Sauron? Just to do his bidding, mindlessly do his bidding. That's with some of the CSIS orcs. Just, you know, compare them to that. I don't mean to ridicule them or anything, but I mean, I do think it is an apt comparison. So we'll just wait till this orc passes. 10:12 p.m. He's got to do what he has to do. And let's take a look in this direction. No one's come from back here yet. Oftentimes they will have people back here. So this is like number 10 since I came up from the pathway, I think. I think the woman there was number 9, if I'm not mistaken, if I haven't lost count. So this should be around number 10, this one that's just on the way here. And yeah, this one's stopping and walking really slowly. Yeah. So this is, and you can see we're in the knapsack as well, right? So you see how many of them they've told to wear the knapsack. This is, so was she number 9 or was this 10? I don't know. We're around there anyway, around that, between 9 and 11. Maybe that's a bad set of numbers, huh? So that's CSIS orc. We'll say 10 there, and then got the knapsack on as well because he's got to have his supplies in there, his props to pretend he's actually here naturally. And then he'll probably go up. What I saw the other time was when I came over here. I saw a number of them go up to the end of the street and then cross down there. I think there's a meeting point down there where they pick them all up, or pick a bunch of them up and then take them back, or maybe they just, I don't know. It could be that hospital which is further up on the left. It's possible there that they go there. So, okay. So now we've got let's see. That was at least 10. That was at least 10 people since I came up here minutes ago. From there, let's take a look here. Nothing on that side. And let's see here. That's why it's important that I show you before I leave the terminal, right? I just want to show you no one at all was walking up and down there at all. So it's just for me coming down here, and they're just sent to surround me as I go to work. That's the only reason they're here. But they're told not to, for the most part, they're told not to engage or interact. They're told to just pretend that they don't know I'm here. But they know. And they're just here to do that. And it's, whatever you want to call it, community watch. It's essentially just the surveillance state, the Canadian surveillance state. Trying to use people who have no clue about anything to do illegitimate surveillance. So let's see, give it a second here. Have we reached another lull in the deluge that they've sent? Let's see here. Okay. And I don't know what they expect this to do. Is this supposed to, like, traumatize me or something? I've seen it for, like, 4 years. And I just get the footage. It doesn't do anything. It just wastes the time of the people who they're sending. And it's not really even wasting my time because I come early, right? So I have a bit of extra time anyway. So I find it amusing to get this footage. Actually. Okay, so let's see now. In fact, I kind of look forward to it to some extent. Just you know, it is amusing. It is amusing that they have people that are this dumb, that are willing to do such ridiculous things. But this is the thing: we're in times when people will do literally anything for money, and that's going to get more extreme as things start to change in the coming years with, you know, the digital currency and all that. People are really going to start to become desperate, unfortunately, and that's all been done by design, where they're forced into that system where, you know, they'll do anything for money. They've also been brainwashed just into the love of materialism above anything else, and they don't have much discernment, unfortunately. So we're coming down here now. It looks like that flood has stopped. Yeah, see, so you can see the one guy there. That's one. I think that's one of the recent ones that passed. He's just waiting to cross there, and I think they have some sort of a meeting point up there, because they were coming from both. Now look, see nothing. And when I exited, nothing as well. So that's just the assignment.
Last night, in my video documentation from December 17th, 2025, I filmed while taking an alternate longer route to get to my workplace. I have shown how CSIS sends mobs of people to swarm around the area to do fake, illegitimate surveillance regardless of which direction I go in. Tonight I will cross over to the other side of the street, attempting to take the shorter route to get to my workplace. As was the case last night, the viewer will note that CSIS has a car waiting on the opposite side of the street, facing toward the exact location where they know I will cross over if I take that specific route. Here, I will show that regardless of which route I take, CSIS has mobs of people who are sent to surround what would be a quiet area to do fake, illegitimate surveillance. These fake surveillance skits are done so that the subject of the harassment will know that the people are being sent specifically to watch them. However, to attempt to cloak their stalking and harassment activities behind a veil of plausible deniability, CSIS trains these surveillance role players to act as if they are just in the area naturally. This is essentially just a theatrical performance to try to evoke a negative response that can be used to try to gaslight and discredit the target. This deceitful facade that they attempt to use quickly disappears if one regularly documents these activities and the consistent patterns that are utilized. The goal is to get the subject of the harassment to react emotionally or to confront the stalkers or get into some kind of altercation with them. The viewer will note that I typically do not have any interaction with the individuals who CSIS has sent to partake in this psychological harassment. Instead, since I know that they are often sent to wait in specific areas until I have left the area, I will sometimes just idle at a distance, covertly recording their activities. When one does this, you can start to compile clear evidence that these people are not there naturally. Rather, they have clearly been sent there. If I stand idle for any amount of time, the CSIS stalkers will also often alert the police or special constables who they have been enlisted to work with.
Okay, so what we have here tonight? Oh yeah, of course, huh? See that there? Almost every time. Not every single time, but most times. You see out there? See the car positioned over there? Just waiting there, just sitting there. And then you got the dog walk on the left, but the car's just sitting there waiting there. No one getting in, no one getting in. So this is what they'll put a CSIS person over there and just have them sit there. That's where I would be crossing. Then a lot of times, as I get there, like the other night when I got there when I was running a bit behind, they had someone come out just as I got there, and then so the Monday night they had a car further down on the right. Last night, Wednesday night, they had a car further down on the right, facing the other direction. So they switched it tonight and just had one. Looks like an SUV maybe, or is it one of those smaller cars? I don't know. But anyway, it's facing this way. So, and then on the left side when I go down, see they got somebody waiting there too. On the left side when I go down, last night they had those two people, surveillance role player actors, waiting by the pathway that I would take if it's the alternate route. So what I did last night, is I took a look here just to show you that no one was walking that direction up and down the street, right? And I want to do that again tonight just to show you, okay? In case if I decide to take that route, you will see that that area will abruptly become flooded with people when I come up from this pathway. That's what often happens. Not every single time, but a lot of times. And let's see if that person's going to answer that. Okay, so that person's not getting into the car. And then the other guy's just still standing there with a dog over there. But okay, we'll take note of that, okay? So right here. No one walking up or down that street. There'd be no reason to. There's hardly anyone here at the station, right? Other than a couple surveillance role players who are just in the area because I'm here. So we need to take note of that. So there's no one there. And watch how that's going to change. Okay. Will we go this way tonight? Maybe we'll go this way tonight. Look from here. Okay. Do you see that vehicle there? The van? The SUV. Last night they had the constables drive in, and then two of them drive out after. Yeah, you can see it there. See the vehicle there? So that's CSIS there. That's a CSIS person there, just pulled the weight there. If I go that direction. If I go the other direction, okay, so there's two surveillance role players now. Are they going to go down here? Let's see. Or are they just going to cross and go straight down? Let's take a look. Both have to consult the phone before doing anything. They're going down that way. Okay, I'm going to go down here. You'll hear some fake coughing, people going as I pass by. It's the sensitization that's often used everywhere I go to have them go just as you get there. So, let's see if we get that. They might not do it because I said that, but often they do. I go this way tonight. Pretty much every single business you can just stand at the phone. That's your phone. Okay, so that vehicle's still there, as you can see. And look at where this guy's positioned here. See that? Staring over toward the area there. And on this side here, that's one of the employees. Is that a passenger? Okay, so then they got a flood coming here, and let's see on this side here on the left what they got here. Of course, they're monitoring me on the cameras now, so they can either have people follow you or have the constables drive up. That's always going on here. So they'll always monitor me on the cameras, but they won't worry about monitoring people who are smoking crack. Okay, so there's two people coming down from that direction now, right? So you remember what I showed last time? I'm just going to turn here and go through. I don't think he's the transit employee. So, yeah, what I showed last night is I showed the road on that side. And there's no one at all. And then as I come up the trail, like 10 plus people show up in like 5 minutes. Walking back and forth. No, it's more than that actually. It's more than that. And so CSIS has to do 24/7 surveillance wherever I go. So if I go somewhere that's more secluded, they still have to have these people show up, which is beneficial for me because it makes it look ridiculous, and you can get footage of it. So we'll go down here tonight, see if there's a lookout person. I'll turn it again just to show you one more time. That vehicle is still there, probably. That car that's been told to wait. There's one there. So look at the car on that side. Transit employee has been told to stay there. If I go down that way, and they use them all the time too. And so on that side, let me just see if that car's there still. It was there. Okay, so this side here you see no one there. Along the street here, no one there. And very few people at the terminal, hardly anyone there. Yet if I take that route, you will see a flood of people abruptly appear. That's the footage we want to get, just to show you how ridiculous it all is and how CSIS sends people everywhere I go. And we want to get those people on camera just so others can see who they are as well. Because people will do anything for greed, anything for money, and they don't. Oh yeah, so check it out here. Notice the person just standing there, staring at the road. See that, the person there? Okay. So this is also what I showed the other night. I'll just come down a little bit closer here and show you that there's just a person who's just been told to pace back and forth and stand there holding up a phone. So what we'll do is we'll go up here and probably, yeah, see, just standing there. Okay. Yeah, what I'll do tonight is I'll go up here and just show you from up on this vantage point. They'll send people up here, and they'll send probably the constables on this side, but I haven't done this for a while, so you can see if I come this route, they got a person waiting here, just pacing back and forth, standing there. And this is a CSIS surveillance role player who's been told to just stand here. They'll send an Uber probably to pick this person up to make it look natural, or a vehicle. That's what I'm saying. Predict that now. But they're just here to stand here when I arrive, so I'll just record from up here and make it awkward for the person. Yeah, they're going to send an Uber to pick this person up, you'll see. I'll just stand a little further down here. Yeah, right here, right on cue. See? That's exactly what I said. Notice that this occurs right as I get here too, right? So you see that there, right as I get here. He's got to make sure. He's got to check the phone 20 times, okay? And he's going to get in here. So you notice the timing that this occurs too, right? So they had the Uber waiting there, and they were told to pick him up just as I get here. And they probably... But, oh no, hold on, it's not, no. Okay, so that's a different vehicle that's been told to go down there. That vehicle went down there just as I got here too, as you can see. And we'll take a look on this side. You'll probably see the constables show up on this side, and the vehicle is just going to drive down here and park and sit here. And they'll pretend that they're here to pick somebody up or whatever. Make it as awkward as possible for the stalker. This is a CSIS person here, tinted windows, of course. So, and they're going to start sending people along here, so you'll see that too. CMJX776. And then the other guy's just been told to pace back and forth up there, as you can see. So, this is when I come this way. If I would have went the other way, they'd have had people pouring out from along the pathway. I just want to see how time it is. Okay, here's another one now. That could be to pick up this guy, I don't know. No, he signaled. So this one's just going to come down there and park and sit here as well. Or are they going to let somebody get out? Maybe somebody who's going to go to this terminal. The other guy's just been told to wait there. Surveillance role player on the right. You can see he's still standing there. And as you can see here also, it's a dead-end street, so no reason to be here at all. Just pick up, here's the constables, like I predicted, okay? Like I predicted, special constables, yeah. Right there. Exactly what I predicted. Smirking too. Okay. Did that guy get, no, he didn't get picked up, okay. So he's there. I'm just going to monitor this one. I'm just going to show you. They're just here just to sit here when I get here. So that's right here. It's illegitimate. If those people are going to get in, it's illegitimate. They've just been told to come down. Actors too here on the left side. They're not going through the gates. They don't live there. They've just been told to come up here. Okay. Notice that? The point. This is the act, the fake pointing here. Okay. Fake pointing. This is all acting. So the guy on the right also. Surveillance role player. Surveillance role players here, and then in the white car as well. I'm not going to move. I'm just going to record it here. just to show you that this is where I would go to work. So because you could see the street is a dead-end street, there'd normally be no one here at this time of night. But because I have to go through here, they send people just to stand here, as you can see on that side there, on that side up there, and then this vehicle here is just parked here just to sit here. So, and this is what I go through every night. If I go the other way, if I go up the pathway, they send people to walk along the pathway and come out just as I come down the path. So the pathway is behind there, behind this the transit terminal. And as you can see, there's very few people at the transit terminal as well. But when I went back there tonight, you could see they had a transit employee who'd been told to sit there. Wait, here's the constable coming back out, having done nothing at all, just showing up there for that. Okay. So we got some time. What they'll probably do with the surveillance role players who are here is they'll send cars to pick them up. You'll notice as soon as they arrive too, these people here, they start pointing. It's just part of the act. So. If it drags on too long, usually they'll just send somebody to pick them up. But you can see, just standing there, right? Okay. And look at where they are. See the street here? Dead end street. No one up there. Hardly anyone by the terminal. And the car here is just part of the act as well, as is the person on the right. And I just like to get some footage of the theater. I know I could just walk by, but what they want you to do is, the whole point of it is to react to it. So I don't have any interaction with them. I just record it. And I also like to drag it on as long as possible, because they're told to be here only as long as I'm here, and then they can move along. So that's why I like to just stop, because a lot of times they're not anticipating you just stopping and filming it from a distance. So now the lights have gone off. Okay. This will probably pick up either the guy on the right or them. Yeah. But you notice they started doing the act with the pointing as soon as they got here. And the vehicle on this side here. Okay, so now they've sent the vehicle to pick him up. Probably not even an Uber, probably just a CSIS vehicle that's sent to pick him up. And this one's just still sitting here. What they'll do with the white car here, I think, is they'll probably send somebody from the transit terminal. They'll probably send somebody from down there just to get into it. It might not even be somebody who they know. It'll just be a CSIS person. So as you can see there. So no one there. Very few people at the terminal. See? Hardly anyone. But the back, so they have every area covered. So if I would have went there, it wouldn't matter either way, because they have a guy sitting there. But I could have still just gone either way. It didn't matter, because they have the cameras there anyway, so they're gonna know where I'm going. But just for the point of it, just to change it up, I came down here tonight, and then we got Stalking. And you'll notice where they are, and then you'll notice where the white car is here too. So the white car is just here for us, the fake surveillance. It's 10:33 p.m. now on a dead-end street. So now they're probably going to have somebody come out who knows these people. Why wouldn't they just go around to the building if they know people here? It doesn't make any sense. They'll have somebody come out. You'll see that they have to do their skit. So like I predicted, you saw the constable showing up there. Maybe another one here. Let's see. No, that's an ambulance, of course. So you saw the constable first, now the ambulance here. Oh, the usual nonsense, right? If I would have taken the trail, they would have had people coming up from there. There's the ambulance there. Okay. And the guy here, CMJX 776, is still just driven down to the end of a dead-end street to park sitting here facing up towards the road without moving. He's just driven down here just to do this on a dead-end street where there would be no one. And he did that just as the other car left, basically just as I went up that direction there. He pulled up right on cue with precise timing, as per his instructions. More acting here. If somebody's coming out here or whatever, you just have it fine. Right? So. Maybe what I might do is move along up there and just record from up there, because I think, I'm gonna move along up here and just turn and kind of record from up there, because if I keep standing there, like, it doesn't matter. I can do what I want there, but they'll make something up that I'm filming these people or something like that for some nefarious reason. So I'm just really filming the car. Those people, we already know they're surveillance role players. You can tell by where they're standing. And they're just told to stand there because that's the route I'm going to take to get to work right across from here. Right down there. I got to walk down there. So got to walk down there and turn around. So they've just sent them to stand there as I exit the station. And it's just letting the subject of the harassment know there's people doing fake surveillance on you everywhere you go. So I'm just going to go from here. And just continue to monitor. You notice precisely where they're positioned too, right? Dead end street there. I'll just walk up here. Show you the white car from here, from a bit of a distance. What's the time? 10:36. Got a little bit of time. So this is pretty much every night. Dan Rogers has sent people both directions, and it's basically their job is just acting. Just acting natural, pretending that they're supposed to be there for something. What they'll do is the two females there, they'll send an Uber to probably pick them up. They're not obviously, but notice where they're positioned, right there by those gates too, right? That's obviously because I would go down that street there, right around. So they've just positioned them to stand there and act as if they're, you know, they're having some normal conversation when they're sent to do this. But I don't have any interaction with these people when they do these things. I just record them and show the viewer that it's unnatural and that these are methods CSIS uses. For those who don't know, for those who might be going through this and not be fully awake to what it is, if you're seeing a lot of things like this wherever you go, they set certain things up like to be like acting, right? So it's like skits. But the whole purpose of it is to make it visible to the person who they're subjecting to the psychological harassment, but so that they'll know for sure that it's being done for them, but so that other people around won't be disturbed by it and won't be alarmed and won't really know that it's part of the harassment. So you see that white car there still hasn't moved, and the actors on the right side are still just standing there, staging the conversation. They're all very well trained in this too, and as you can see now, they're sending a bunch of people up here to come by. They'll probably do the fake coughing, go like throat clearing when they come up. So we're still got the act going on here with them just standing there across from the property, and then notice a bunch of people now. So 3 of them are suddenly coming because they've informed that I'm standing up here. So this car will probably pick up the 2 females, I'm guessing, who've just gone there just to stand there. And they could have. There's a passenger pickup in front of the station too, right? Looks like another one up there. So listen if we get a sensitization, fake coughing as any of these individuals pass who've been sent to come walk up here suddenly. There was no one who walked up here before I came up here either. You might note that as well. And then there's 2 more here. No, they're still not getting in. As you can see, they're still just standing there. So 2 vehicles, and then the white car that's just been there the whole time. Two more CSIS people coming here, walking extremely slow. You notice how this area, when I got down there was the one car which pulled out. Right as it pulls out, you already had the guy standing here on the left who was also CSIS. They sent both sides too, right? Right away. This is how they control everyone around here. Then there's another one, see at the end of the street there? There's another one parked there also. So this is Dan Rogers as I try to go to work. Flooding the area with people both sides. Listen for coughing. And the people who they use to do it have no capacity for critical thinking. They just do whatever the state tells them. So if the state tells them, no exaggeration, if the state tells them 2 o'clock in the morning, we want you to take all your belongings and take all your loved ones and go to the edge of a cliff and fling yourself off, and then we promise you we'll give you a free iPhone. They'll do it, right? And I keep going back to that, but that sums it up really succinctly. Because that's what the mentality. Another one now. So you notice they're flooding this area. Before I came up here, no one was walking up here at all. Now they're flooding the area with people as well. And then down here, so you see you got another. Look at where this one's positioned here. This is a CSIS vehicle here, down here as well. I'll just show you. Look at that one. So that's where I was going to go, right? Now he's going to also do. He was parked in a really odd location. Now he's going down here as well, as you can see. And this is all just to surround and swarm me as I attempt to go to work tonight. And it's Now he's doing a U-turn and going back out. So you notice where he was positioned initially. He was just parked at the edge of the street, facing downwards. So no, I can't see the plate number from here. They'll start flooding the area up here, as you can see as well now. And then that person, those two people there, are just been told to stand there. So there really hasn't been a lull in people coming up here since I've come up here either if you notice that. There's been no lull, no let up in it. So Daniel Rogers and CSIS have increased this stuff exponentially recently because of, anytime you put out videos speaking the truth about the police involvement in drug trafficking, they have all these people who they use to insulate that. And so they just throw their slaves out there and have their slaves do. Now you notice the two females there have just been standing there the entire time, facing a dead-end street and not moving. And they've just been told to stand there while I'm here, as I try to go to work, right? This would be the route that I would take. I would go up here, I would go up the street, and I would turn down and turn left. But I've stopped here just to show you the act that's going on. The white car also is the CSIS stalker that has not moved at all. So. Still standing there, not moving. And rest assured, if no one comes to, if these people don't move shortly, they'll start accusing me or something like that. I bet you that. But I can stand here. It's a public sidewalk now. Let's see here. They weren't waiting for this Uber either. This is all completely fake. They just sent it because they were told to stand there for so long. Now here's the act again, okay? Usually do the waving. And was that the constable? So what we're going to see, this is the act. This is probably a CSIS car that was sent to pick them up because the task is done. They know I'm recording, probably, or they've informed via their phones that I was recording. So it's going to be 10:42 p.m. 10:42. Sorry. So that car down there has been there since I came up here. Since I came across from the station, the white car. No one's moved, no one's got in, no one's got out. See across there as well. And here's a car coming with one headlight down there. You'll notice that one that was parked at the end of the street, how that one was also positioned. And then as soon as I started moving down there, it did a U-turn and pulled out. So they got a lot of stuff going on. And it's all just because, they don't like the videos that I've uploaded, so I'm going to continue to upload them. This person hasn't moved, they've just been told to sit here. And so I'm going to go back to my position here and make it awkward and uncomfortable for them. Just show them at a distance here. Yeah, still there, sitting in the dark, not moving. And then got down here, a couple more that they're sending. Looks like on the right side there, they're going to come around from here. Notice his lights kind of flashed as I came down. I'll just show you here. I saw that, yeah. Thanks for the footage. Thanks for the footage. Oh, now he's going, huh? Okay. So you see what he was just sent to park there, just to do that. Never moved, never got out until then. He got out just to look at me. Maybe he probably took a picture with his phone. I didn't see if he did that or not because I turned after he had already gotten out. There's the police there, okay, on that side. And he's obviously informed the police that I was standing there as well. So he's going. So you saw he never got in. No one got into the vehicle with him. And he didn't get out until there just to look at me. And I think he might have taken a picture. I don't know. But that's a surveillance role player, and you'll see the police just drove by here, so he informed the police as well that I was idling and recording. Or I don't know whether he knows I was recording, but tonight I have the glasses running as well as the body cam, and you can kind of see the light on the body cam, so he might have saw that. I don't know.